I need some, give me some magic. What's up, everybody? Logan Exhales here from the Rise and Vape Show. I was feeling a little retro today, I guess a little nostalgic, hence the MTV going on, hence the Nintendo beanie, you know? It's 2019, Logan, it's not 1995 anymore, it's okay. What do you got for me? What is this? What kind of ninja deception is going on?
I'm going grocery shopping.
You're going grocery shopping? Okay, I love you. God damn, I'm trying to shoot a video!
She wants to be in it.
Come on. Oh, now you're upset?
You yelled at her.
Whatever. I definitely don't have the 5 or 6 whatever device buffet that we had last week, but that's okay. That's fine. You know? Yeah, we'll start it right off. I don't know if you guys saw my review for the E-Leaf Elven pod. I've been really enjoying this. I've been really enjoying this little pod. It's nice. That's loaded up with some strawberry kiwi juice head salts, some 25 milligram, in big bold red letters. So you have your standard warning label, and then over here, in big red letters, it says not for sub-ohm use. Does that mean that you can't put this in a sub-ohm tank and your sub-ohm tank is somehow not going to be able to vaporize this e-liquid? No, not at all. It's just saying that high milligram nic salts are designed for low wattage, low vapor production pod systems, not high wattage, massive cloud sub-ohm tanks. There's a difference in the way that works. So keep it in the pods. But yeah, that E-Leaf Elven has been a treat this week. I still got that Amit sitting on top of that Limitless 80 watt redemption. Just the last bit of that salted caramel macchiato. I think it's great out of a little vape like this, you know. This isn't a liquid that I would like big clouds from. It just wouldn't work for me. But this has been nice. I've been going strong with this for a few weeks now, actually. And still, I love this setup. I'm thinking about getting a black Dead Rabbit SQ just so it's a little more matchy. You guys will see this in the upcoming liquid tasting that me and my girlfriend shot last night. So yeah, my clothes are gonna change, things like that. It's not magic. We just shot it last night, so no big deal. I don't have a lot of time this morning to shoot what I'm shooting right now, so we did that segment last night. But yeah, I got that Coastal Clouds Blueberry Limeade loaded up here with the Dead Rabbit and the Tesla 3, sitting at right around 4.2, 4.4 volts, somewhere right in there. And you guys will see more about that juice coming up now. All right.
Do you want a piece of bubble yum?
No, I don't want a piece of bubble yum. I want to have some liquid yum. Liquid yum. ZampleBox.
Yes, ZampleBox is more exciting.
It's ZampleBox time. It's the February ZampleBox
I'm not in the frame enough.
video
Look at me.
thing.
Can you? Can you do it?
No, I can't do it.
My hair looks fine.
Do you have enough of the frame now?
Yes.
All right. Take it away, Captain.
Slogan Exhales here today for the February ZampleBox review. We have Cafe Racer Croissant
Cafe Racer is a Belgian-style croissant coming in at a 70-30 mix from Cafe Racer
I'm really
Craft
bad at
E-Liquid
this.
in California.
I'm really bad at this.
Cafe Racer.
Croissant.
Social medias. They have social medias. All right.
And I like this little bottle.
It is. It's kind of cool. It's like a little square bottle. Crack her on open. What we're going to do this week is her pick, and then my pick, and then in our sample box, we always let them pick at least one liquid for us. We're going to do her pick, and then my pick, and then the sample box pick.
Oh, look at this little dripper.
Oh, it's all angled.
It's angled. That's the first angle.
Once you empty
dripper I've
that, let me
seen.
see that. Let's see if I
Yeah.
can get a shot on the... Is it supposed to be like that, Cafe Racer? Is it... You
I
guys
like
will see what
that.
we're talking about in a second. I don't know if this is supposed to be
I
like
think
this.
it's supposed to be like that.
Or did this one just, like, not make it through quality control? It's definitely angled.
I like it.
That's definitely different. I feel like when you're down to the last bit of your liquid, that might come in handy.
Yeah.
When you have to, like, tilt the bottle and get that weird angle
Yeah.
sometimes, I feel like that might be what that's for. Cafe Racer Vapor Company, if that's on purpose, that's pretty cool.
We're running this on the Vandy Vape Pulse.
The Pulse 24 sitting on top.
Yeah.
With a
80 watt box.
with a 0.2 frame stag from Twisted Timmy's Coils.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're running at 65 watts.
They described it as a Belgian-style croissant.
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 And on ZampleBox's website, some of the reviews had said that there was like a little hint of chocolate.
Child-proof for sure. I'm a child. Sometimes these bottles give me trouble. I get a lot of butter and bread.
My kind of vape.
It's just like a sweet, buttery bread. Just
I'm
dairy and
enjoying it.
carbs. Just
I'm enjoying it. You want me to start with the rating?
take it away.
Alright. This one, let me hit it one more time. I'm gonna give it a solid 3.
Solid 3, huh?
I mean, it's not my favorite that I've ever tried, but it's decent and I would vape it.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a 2.
Okay.
I think if you're into a very basic kind of buttery, cakey kind of bread, if that's what you wanted, then that's definitely what you're gonna get.
It'll hit the marks.
I think it's just lacking in a lot of luster for me, and I'm not a big bread guy when it comes to vapes. Like I don't really like cakes and cupcakes and things. So, and this is kind of just all sweet buttery bread.
Yeah. On the flip side, though, I really like their packaging in this bottle.
The bottle is cool, and
I really like this.
that dripper in there, having that little bend in it, is actually really cool. So kudos to them on that. But the actual liquid on the liquid on the inside, the liquid on the inside is just not for me.
Okay.
But
That's fair.
I think it's a solid vape if that's what you were into.
Yeah.
But as a personal rating, I'm gonna give it a 2.
Okay.
And next, from Coastal Clouds, there we go. One of my personal favorite lines. This is the Oceanside. It's a blueberry limeade. I'm pretty excited about this one. I love a good lemonade. I've only ever had one good limeade, and it was also a blueberry limeade.
I want to eat one of these so bad, but I'm gonna wait till the end so it doesn't affect my taste senses.
I want to get the sound effect. That was what I was going for.
Oh, you're waiting for me to finish?
Yeah.
Mm.
So the last blueberry limeade that I had that was really good was from Prophet. We talked about that earlier.
Yep.
That yellow bottle.
Yep.
That yellow bottle profit. Oh, it smells like I'm gonna
Yeah, I
love
smell
it.
that.
Still running that Tesla 3 with that rainbow dead rabbit on top. Ooh, I'm gonna turn her down just a hair.
Oh my god. Bless you. So, by the time we film our next video, I'm gonna have the top side and the goat.
Oh yeah, I thought you were gonna tell some super boring story.
No, I'm so excited for the top side and the goat.
Oh, come on, get the fuck out of here.
Don't tease me like that. Oh, it smells so good.
Get the fuck out of here. I love this fucking
You're about
company.
to crush this.
This bottle is gonna be destroyed.
Oh my god, it smells like heaven. And I'm not a big limeade person, so I'm
This
excited.
This is fucking delicious.
That's delicious.
Yeah, I gotta hit that again.
Well,
I
that
already
is
know
delicious.
what I'm gonna give this. I already know what I'm giving this.
Normally, I shy away from anything with limeades, but this is on point.
I'm gonna give this a solid 4.5.
Oh, okay. I
And
thought you were
the
going to give
only
it a 5.
thing that's taking it away from being a perfect 5 is I think it just crosses that sweetness line, and I guarantee you this is gonna be probably the
coil killer.
last juice I can run on this coil. But it is delicious.
I'm actually going to agree with you, and I'm also going to give it a 4.5.
Yeah. Oh man, that's so fucking good. So again, double 4.5s. Nice job tonight, Coastal Clouds.
Mm-hmm.
By the way, guys, we are shooting this an entire night ahead. This is Saturday night. The rest of the Rise and Vape show I will be shooting in the morning. Later in the morning is going to get a little hectic for us, so we want to do this segment tonight, so I'll have time in the morning to do the rest and then whatnot. So there you go. Either way,
I think the lighting's better now than it is.
I actually think the lighting is better now than in the morning too. Well, when I first start shooting, the lighting's really good, and by the end, when I'm doing my advocacy stuff, the lighting sucks.
Yeah.
So there you go, double 4.5s on that Coastal Clouds Blueberry Limeade. Really good stuff. I'm a big fan of this. I'm a big fan of that whole line. The Coastal Clouds they just do such a good job. And the last liquid we have tonight is ZampleBox's pick for us, which is called Screamy by Obey Vapes.
Patrick Bateman's
They
on the
are
front.
this is an Electric Lotus LLC company. So Electric Lotus, Obey Vapes. Got like a Christian Bale from American Psycho on the front there. And I'm going to throw it in the Aegis with a drop. If you're familiar with my videos, you know that's always kind of a go-to for me. It's just it's a solid vape. It's reliable. I know what to get out of it.
I'm so thirsty.
Go get a drink.
You sure?
Yeah. Beauty of video magic, baby. All right, there you go. Obey Vapes, Screamy. Oh, by the way, Obey Vapes, Screamy is a berry marshmallow cream. It's an 80-20.
Go ahead. I feel like you're having the same reaction as me.
Okay, so this liquid, it tastes extremely artificial.
Honestly,
Like in a really not so great way. Like I think the marshmallow that's in that is very weird.
honestly, to me, it tastes like nothing.
Really?
Yeah, I barely got any flavor out of that.
I get a really tiny hint of the berry in the backdrop, but the main component that I get out of that liquid is like this really, really weird, super artificial. It's whatever is being described as like that marshmallow cream.
Ready to rate it?
Yeah. I'm going to give it a 1. I don't like it at all. The berry in there is very child's medicine berry. Very like a berry flavored kids Tylenol kind of berry to me. And it's very subtle, but that's what I get out of it. And then I get this really just weird, artificial, almost bitter creaminess that's supposed to be that cream or marshmallow. Berry marshmallow cream. Yeah. Yeah, it tastes like super medicinal. Like, it reminded me of like kids medicine. Like berry kids medicine and this like bitter shitty cream.
I'm going to rate it a 1 as well. I'm not gonna vape this.
Yeah, I'm not gonna vape this either.
Honestly, I barely got any flavor from it.
Yeah.
In my opinion, and
yeah, I don't know.
It's just like underwhelming.
Oh, it's definitely underwhelming. Yeah, I don't know any other way to describe that. So I'm gonna go back to this. Oh my god. This is the top liquid of the night.
Yep. Hands down.
Hands down. I really like Coastal Cloud's mango berries.
Mm-hmm.
I really liked I think it's called Deep Sea, which is like a watermelon taffy.
Right, yep.
I think this will be the 3rd Coastal Clouds that I've had so far.
And
so
everyone's been
3 for 3 so far with Coastal Clouds. I mean, it's just I think they put a lot of love and work into their flavor combinations. And a lot of times what it really comes down for me, and I talk about it a lot, is balance. There's a balance that I feel like sometimes just feels rushed in some liquids. Like, I can see what they were going for, but it could also be just a palate thing. You know what I mean? Like, somebody out there made that liquid, and that's their take. That's what they enjoy. And then when I vape on it, I'm like, it's good, but I wish there was just a little more of this. Like, I wish that flavor was a little more predominant. And a lot of that just comes down to preference.
Right.
But balance is always a thing that I look for. Like, how well do those flavors balance out? Can I pick up all the notes? Are the low notes, like, complementing what's going on? Are the high notes shining really well? And Coastal Clouds, they do a great job every time. That's it. So, yeah. Coastal Clouds, top pick of the night, followed up by that Cafe Racer Croissant, and then the juice that we're not sure what's going on with, Screamy from Obey Vapes. That's it.
That's it.
Thanks.
Gracias.
Grassy ass.
All right. Yeah, as you can see, this was the liquid for me. I love lemonades. Limeades are a little bit tougher, but Coastal Clouds absolutely killed it with this one. I can't stop. I've been vaping on it all night. Been vaping on it all morning. It's just fantastic. You guys will have to wait while I hang on. Yeah. Okay. All right, Logan. News and advocacy stuff. Let's do it. I wanted to share an article with you. This was on Quora. An article was posted in there from Roberto Sussman Livovsky. He's a full-time researcher
from 1991 until now. And the title of his article on Quora was "How Long Until We Know If E-Cigarettes Are Safe?" Now, this is a really long article. We'll post it in the links below. The links below, the description, you know, where you put the whatever, it's going to be down there. There's just a few little key things that I wanted to point out. One of the statements that he says is, rather than asking, is it safe? And we're talking about e-cigarettes or you know, vape mods, vaping in general. Rather than asking, is it safe, the right question should be, is it safer than X, where X is an appropriate standard. Your question should be, when will we know if e-cigarettes are safer than X? Right. Now, e-cigarettes are replacing tobacco cigarettes, thus the natural comparative standard, X, is cigarette smoking. So how long until we know if they are safer than smoking, or if they are safe in comparison to continuing smoking cigarettes? The answer is straightforward. We already know they are much safer than smoking cigarettes, at least for 10 years of intense observation. Some folks argue that we still don't know the long-term effects of vaping, hinting that we are condemned to waiting another 20 to 30 years to find out these possible long-term effects. This line of reasoning is based on assuming that 1, we know nothing or near nothing about e-cigarettes, or 2, science is based and only admits direct verification, dismissing inference and estimations. Both 1 and 2 are wrong. We know about e-cigarettes more than 2,000 articles in the scientific and medical literature in the last 10 years, and science mostly works on making robust estimations from inference. You don't need to travel to the surface of the sun with a thermometer at hand to know that it's 6,000 degrees. We know that by indirect inference through spectroscopy? We have so much scientific data already. He goes on to talk about the studies behind formaldehyde scare, used vaping machines that kept operating in dry puff conditions when the e-liquid dries out and the resistance burns the wick, producing lots of toxic stuff. Yeah, if you're vaping dry cotton, if you're just essentially smoking burning cotton because you have no liquid left on your wicks at that point, yes, it is going to create higher levels of formaldehyde. I don't know anybody that just straight up vapes on dry cotton. So yeah, you know, the formaldehyde scare is just not realistic. Nobody keeps on puffing on the nastiest taste you can imagine when your cotton is dry. Nobody does that. It's absurd. They go on to link a number of other studies and articles in this article. He goes on to talk about the study from Dr. Pelosa, the health impact of e-cigarettes, a prospect 3.5-year study of regular daily users who have never smoked, where no significant harms were detected. I don't know if we talked about that in the past or not. I believe I've talked about that in the past, that study, but that's also linked in this article. A number of really good links are in here to studies. And then one of my favorite parts of this whole article, a closely related question would be, suppose that we had only known tobacco cigarettes for 10 years. 10 years ago, tobacco cigarettes started. Hypothetically, let's say that. Would we know that they can be very risky in the long run at this point? The answer is yes. Risks from cigarette smoking were not known in 1920 or 1950 because of the lack of observation, but that does not mean this would be beyond finding in modern science today if we had only known cigarettes for 10 years. If we had only known and studied cigarettes for 10 years, we would know from the chemical analysis of the smoke, biomarkers, and cohort studies that continuous cigarette smoking would entail high health risks. We would probably not know how much risky in comparison with other behaviors or substances, but we would know that it would be very risky. Following similar reasoning, we can infer the opposite, very small risk, from vaping made observations and studies only in 10 years. Dr. Carl V. Phillips provides a very convincing discussion on this issue in one of his articles in Daily Vapor. This is reference, what would we know about cigarettes and health if they were as new as e-cigarettes? That link is also in this article. Just to wrap it up, they say, thus, in a nutshell, we cannot know today the exact harms from long-term vaping or make a precise comparison of risk with smoking or other pollutants or standard TLVs. However, current knowledge accumulated in 10 years allows us to infer in a robust manner that these harms will be considerably less than continuous smoking and comparable to exposure to normal pollution. Again, I will have the link to this article in in the description below. I typically don't link articles that don't have studies directly tied to them, but I am going to link this one just because I think they hit on a lot of key things that a lot of people don't think about. You know, we don't know how it's going to affect us in 10 years. People tell me that all the time. We don't know the long-term effects. It's 2019. If we can't take 10 years of studies, over 2,000 studies, and make a pretty accurate inference of what's going to happen, then I'm really confused as where we're at as an intelligent species. Like they talk about with cigarettes, if we had 10 years of studies done on traditional tobacco, we would be able to very, very confidently say that this is a harmful product for you. Just like right now, we can very, very confidently say that vaping is far, far less harmful for you than smoking. People don't believe that with empirical science and all the studies that we have, that we can't infer, at least fairly accurately, long-term side effects. Now, granted, there may be things that do present themselves 30, 40, 50 years down the road. Yeah, you're right. Anybody can say, well, we don't know what it's going to do in 20 years. You're right. You're right. We don't know what it will do in 20 years. But god damn it, we're pretty good at science, and we can make a pretty good inference as to what it's going to do 20 years from now. Science says it's not much. So I will link that article down below. I know that, these news and advocacy segments are boring, and it's usually just me reading, but I want to convey key points to you in case you decide that, reading this article yourself is just not worth your time, which it absolutely is worth your time. But I try to get some key points from my perspective to you really quick. A lot of the articles I have in my news and advocacy stuff are long, but that's okay. They should be. They should have as much information in them as possible, and they should have as many links to studies as possible. And this one is a good one, and it really kind of touches base on questioning our public health, officials, and saying, are you admitting that you're really shitty at science because you can't infer anything? That's what I get out of it. Like, this is a call to our public health officials. We can infer a lot of things, but you're choosing to opt out of that. You're basically saying, look, we're not good enough at science to make these estimations down the road. That's how I feel. I feel like the Surgeon General, the CDC, the FDA, they're basically admitting that they're really bad at science and they can't infer any future outcomes. They must wait for the data themselves. They have to have it 20, 30 years down the road from now. And they're not willing to also, let that happen. Why? We have a product that's 95% safer for you than traditional tobacco, according to the Royal College of Physicians, one of the most, if not the most, respected institution of scientists and doctors on the planet, who are also inferring that the long-term side effects would be very, very minimal. But our own highly intelligent group of scientists and doctors here in the States just can't seem to get their heads around it. They just can't seem to figure it out. My solution is that we fire all of them and get some actual doctors and scientists in there that give a shit about public health, that care about the rest of us, and that don't care so much about the size of their wallets and the money that they will get from having people continuing smoking. That's my call out to you, Mr. Gottlieb. I challenge you to do some real science. I challenge you to give a shit about the public part of your public health, because I'm that public. There are 480,000 plus Americans who are on track to die this year alone from tobacco-related illnesses. They are your public. That you just simply don't seem to give a shit about. But you know what? I do. And thousands of other people do. Thousands of other advocates do. And at the end of the day, we will win. And you might win some battles along the way, and you might get to puff out your chest. But as with all things, eventually the truth will come out. And you will have to pay for what you've done. The truth will come out. You will be exposed for just what you're doing. For misleading and lying to the public. For putting money before public health. Those truths will come out, and you will have to own up to them. So, I mean, that's on you, man. That's on you. And we're going to get there. It's not a matter of what if, it's a matter of when. Either way, guys, we're going to keep up the fight. We're going to keep informing people. We're going to keep up our studies. And we're going to keep on vaping. I'm Logan. This has been the Rise and Vape Show. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it from the bottom of my heart and lungs. You really don't understand just how good it is to get your feedback. So if you liked this video, please smash that like button, subscribe. You know, it helps me more than you know, and I really do appreciate it. If you want to check me out on Instagram, it's instagram.com/LoganExhales. And if you want to check me out on Twitter, I'm also on Twitter @LoganExhales. I can't say it enough. Get out there and join CASAA, CASAA.org. Sign up for all the newsletters, get all your updates, find out what's going on for you locally, and go to those calls to action. Write your representatives, let them know your story. Every little bit helps. Every little bit helps. My voice is shot. It's going already. I'm going to get out of here, though, guys. Much love. Thank you. Keep on vaping. La 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 la. Me 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 me.